What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Jose here at the First Round By Podcast, accompanied by my boy, Mr. Sauce.
What's up, guys and gals? Everybody, how's everybody doing? Great, that kind of took me off guard. Welcome to episode number 42. It is not for post-production purposes.
Jesus.
So, on this episode, if you didn't catch our last episode, definitely make sure you catch that because we talked about some of the bigger contracts that were thrown out recently. But on this episode, we got some drama unfolding. It's, I believe this last week or so, training camp started for most all the teams, correct?
Correct.
And, man, there's been some. So, if you guys like drama, this is the episode for you. Pretty much. So let's start things off with because we got a full slate going on. Let's start off with Ryan Jensen.
Oof, Ryan Jensen, right in the gut.
Golly,
That's like the soul of the offensive line right there.
it is. So I only know that he got injured. Do we know how long?
I'm not sure. All I know is that it's some type of knee or leg injury.
It's long term,
and I don't know. I didn't even know it was long term. I know it was not looking good, but
right.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's for like 4 or 5 games starting off and everything.
Oh, I think it's gonna be more than that.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? I don't know.
Who really knows?
Nothing's been really as far as I'm concerned, nothing's been officially announced.
Right. Which that's such a big blow. And actually, I was watching ESPN the other day, and they were talking about, did this ruin the Buccaneers' hopes for a Super Bowl?
Oh, bro, it's so early.
I know.
Maybe,
I saw that, I was like, are you kidding me?
Maybe if it was like Tom Brady or maybe Mike Evans or Chris Godwin wasn't back yet, then maybe, right?
Right. But still, though, the crazy thing about that is just that's like part of your offensive line. That's one of the person that makes the protection calls and everything. So now you got to be nervous about the health of Tom Brady back there and everything. So I wonder how they're going to adjust with everything. I haven't seen anything on how much they're going to adjust or anything because I haven't been checking in on it.
They have plenty of time to adjust. If we were in week 16 or even week whatever 4-1, if we're in the football season, then yeah, I'd be worried.
Right.
But obviously, yeah, I'd be worried now too with Ryan Jensen. But at the same time, it's they got time
especially
to prepare.
Since you have time to prepare, but you also got to make sure that all those guys on the offensive line are gelling really well and everything, which does still take a little bit of time. But that's kind of still a little scary scenario for them.
Oh, for sure.
But also with the Buccaneers, Mr. Julio Jones signed a 1-year deal. So we actually put out a short on this and everything. We asked what people's opinions were on it. Well, I asked what people's opinions were on it. And it's funny because Julio was on the Titans last year. And we used to call him Hamstring Julio because of the fact that he was only involved for maybe half the time. But whenever he was healthy, he was a solid threat. I think he's going to do okay over there. What do you think?
I think he's gonna have maybe 2 or 3 games where everybody's like, oh my God, is Julio Jones back? Mm-hmm. What did the world let happen? Julio Jones to Tom Brady, or Tom Brady to Julio Jones? You know what I mean? But,
right.
I mean, it's Julio Jones, right? He didn't just go to the superstar to a complete nobody. He's still gonna have some of those assets that we watched him have whenever he was in his prime. But he's definitely not going to be prime. And you got Mike Evans, you got Chris Godwin, you got those guys that are going to generate and get those looks and get those catches. Do I see him being a wide receiver 3? Maybe, because they also brought in Russell Gage.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He's definitely gonna have a few games. So in my opinion, maybe 2 or 3 where he gets a touchdown or 2 or surpasses 100 yards miraculously, and everybody's like, oh,
Julio's back.
No.
Yeah. No, I think that he's going to do better than he did with the Titans last year. Because with the Titans, he was looked at as basically a 1A and 1B for AJ Brown, but now Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, they're the 2 top guys.
Well, you also got to think about the system that he's in and that he was in. The Titans are a run first team with no disrespect, but they got Ryan Tannehill throwing him the ball. Now you got Tom Brady in a pass first throwing him the ball. You know what I'm saying? So it's night and day difference.
It is. And I'm not going to take any offense to that because that's going from Tannehill, who is a very good to great regular season quarterback to, notice how I said regular season, to the GOAT. I mean, there's no comparison and everything. So I think that he'll do all right. But with that being said, let's actually move on to Julio's old stomping grounds. Good old Atlanta. So the Falcons, they named a former Titan as a starter. Oh man, so good old.
It shows in your face. You were like so ecstatic.
I was ecstatic. Plus, I like that segue into that. That was clean.
Oh my god.
So former starting quarterback, Marcus Mariota. I was going to say former starting quarterback for the Titans, and well, for a game, I think he was the starter for the Sin City Raiders.
Good Lord, someone get this guy.
But Marcus Mariota has been named the starter. Oh my goodness. Falcons, what are y'all doing?
Well, I feel like they kind of joined like the Seattle Seahawks of the world, or the Carolina Panthers, the New York Jets. Do I need to go more? All right, fine.
Wait,
the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Are you saying that Marcus Mariota is not a good starting quarterback?
I mean, he'll win you a few games, maybe.
Will you?
Maybe.
No.
I mean, if I had to pick between like obviously like Trevor Lawrence or some of these other cats for one season, then I'd probably go with Mariota. But anyway, yeah, what were we talking about?
So I think that it's kind of damning in a way, because that means that they're when did they pick up Desmond Ridder? I think it was
in the draft.
Yeah, well, I know that, but like what round?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it was like early, but
I want to say it was like the third round or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, so the Falcons picked up Desmond Ridder, and a lot of people were thinking that he was going to be like maybe potentially the guy. I mean, you pick him up in the third round, you're not exactly expecting him to set the world on fire. But it is kind of sad to see that already he must be really far behind, because already Mariota's the starter.
Right.
But Mariota does have he has a little bit of knowledge, especially since he was in that scheme with Arthur Smith, their head coach. He was the offensive coordinator for the Titans whenever Mariota was a starting quarterback and everything. So there's some familiarity there. Not sure how I feel about it, because I mean, at the end of the day, Mariota is what he is, which is kind of a middling quarterback. But I just thought that was absolutely hilarious and kind of crazy, just because of the fact that it's Mariota. Like, man, rip-a-rooskies to the Falcons right now.
Rip-a-rooskies.
But anyway, so let's move on again, because one of my favorite parts that we were going to talk about is coming up right now. Good old Buffalo Bills. So apparently over there, so the Buffalo Bills are actually preseason favorites for everything right now. Everything. Everybody's preseason favoriting them for like the Super Bowl, MVP, curing cancer, all that good stuff. Like, everybody's just all over the Bills. Apparently, Josh Allen got really pissed off in training camp. I don't know the details of it. I just know that apparently did he almost get into a fight, or did he get into a fight, or what?
Yeah, if I can find the clip, I'll post it up. But I believe they were running like a play action pass or something. I think he kept like the ball. And I want to say he like ran the ball up the gut or something. And some player, I think I don't remember his name, but it was one of the players on the defensive end of the side. They like bumped shoulders with him, and he got really upset because they did that. And yeah, there was people saying, don't touch the how much is he making again?
Oh, he makes a lot of money.
It was like don't touch the X amount of $1 million quarterback. I get it to an extent.
Yeah.
It's freaking training camp. Like, get your hands off the damn quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, our future is literally in this guy's hands.
Yeah.
Don't freaking hit him. So
exactly.
Did he overreact a little bit? Probably, by trying to get into a fight with them. And they are teammates. But hey, I love it. Tear that whole damn team apart.
That's
right.
What I mean? Anything to help the Patriots of the AFC
That's
East,
right. Anything to help the Pats out. So I love it. Keep it coming.
I think it's hilarious, and it's just part of the reason why is because, like, especially if he's running the ball, I wonder if he's got some PTSD from whenever Jeffrey Simmons stopped him with one hand at the 1 yard line, keeping him from scoring and possibly putting the Bills into the number one seed talk. But I mean, we all know that because I think that they've talked about it before, but Josh Allen he is maturing. He's still a young guy. and everything. So obviously the emotions are going to be high in training camp and everything. But that's another thing that you don't really want to necessarily see. I mean, it's cool that he has some fire to him and everything, but at the same time, they had to cancel practice because it was just so bad.
And their teammates, you know what I mean? So it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, because you're gonna have to work together. I mean, I guess on different sides of the ball, but man, that cracked me up. I thought it was kind of funny, but segueing that, I don't have a good segue into this. I'm sorry, but apparently, Trey Lance is now the guy in San Francisco.
That's kind of sad if you're a Jimmy G fan.
It is.
Right before we hopped on this episode, I saw a video, and again, if I can find it, I will post it on the screen for you. Where I guess they don't want Jimmy Garoppolo practicing with the team because apparently they don't want him on the team. So they had him practicing, and he was literally just like walking / running by himself on the side of the field, which I don't know the accuracy of like the I guess like the words that were connected to the video, because everybody was saying, they don't want him, go practice by yourself.
Yeah.
So he was just over there just running by himself. So I don't know. It was kind of sad.
At least he's staying fit.
Right. But I mean, he has to, if he wants to get picked up. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Man, that's just nuts because, I mean, I don't know what they see in Trey Lance so far, but man, I don't know if he's a viable replacement yet. I haven't gotten to watch very many of his games, so because I'm not a 49ers fan.
You're not?
No.
I didn't know that.
I'm a Titans fan.
Oh, shit.
Yay. But oh, shit. But yeah, so it's one of those things where he's a dynamic athlete, absolutely dynamic athlete, and they are pretty much a run-first team for the most part, I believe. So I think that's great for them, but what are they going to do, run RPOs the entire game?
Yeah, I mean, shit, I feel like that's what they've been doing for like ever since Jimmy Garoppolo arrived.
But don't you feel like Jimmy G might be a better passer than Trey Lance, or what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. Jimmy G, he's never been the flashiest passer. He's definitely a smart quarterback, in my opinion, but he's not known to have like an arm. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So I can see why they're kind of moving on from him. He's been kind of rocky with health. I just don't think the Jimmy G experiment worked out for them.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I mean, yeah, he took him to the Super Bowl, but so I don't know. I just feel bad for Jimmy G. I hope a team lands him. Obviously, I still got some feelings for the guy since he did play for the Pats. Pats drafted him, so I kind of do wish him nothing but the best. But I guess time will tell.
Yeah, I mean the time has come for Trey Lance to take the reins. So. I mean, obviously, he was drafted for a reason. He's got a lot of talent, so we'll see what happens with it. Real quick, I just also wanted to talk about very, very, very briefly, Mr. Chris Carson. So he retired recently, and I guess he was loved over there, like heavily in Seattle, but he retired due to a neck injury, right?
Right.
And so I guess he's just wanting to prolong his career, like as a human being, I guess. Or a career as a human being.
That
wow, prolong his life.
It might as well be a career.
Yeah. But everything that I watched him, like whenever I watched him play, whenever he was playing in the NFL, he was a bruiser. He was great.
He was good. Yeah, he was a good running back when healthy.
Yeah, he definitely was. But kind of like what you said, and I think he only had like a 4 or 5 year career, maybe.
I want to say maybe like. Yeah, something close.
Yeah.
Maybe like 5 or 6 or something.
But he's definitely making the smart decision to go ahead and bow out. And didn't you say something about Seattle is going to be like signing him or something?
Yeah, I'd have to look for the details, but apparently like I think they put him under like a failed physical or something like that. Mm-hmm. So since they did that, the Seahawks are entitled to give him some sort of like money, like
some
millions.
Compensation?
Some compensation.
Absolutely.
So they kind of did him right by doing that. Since obviously he did that playing for your organization, you better show him some respect, right?
Absolutely.
So because there's other organizations that could have said, screw you,
Yeah, exactly.
Cut him and whatever. So I feel like they did him right.
Absolutely. I think so too, especially since he was so loved by that organization. I mean, I saw it on social media and I was actually kind of surprised that he had so much love going his way just because, I mean, I don't follow the Seahawks because I'm not a Seahawks fan. I'm a Titans fan.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But anyway, so right before we end off this episode, real quick, I just wanted to touch on good old Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. So these two great teammates now. They love each other. They're so close and tight knit. So anybody that follows AJ Brown or even Jalen Hurts on social media, you will know that AJ Brown is very, very eccentric on Twitter. He loves that Twitter. He loves deleting tweets and everything. Either way, so there were some videos that came out from the Eagles training camp where Jalen Hurts was throwing some balls to him and stuff, but some of them weren't exactly like dead on. And so a lot of people were kind of giving him hell and everything, giving that connection hell because of the fact that like there's no pressure on him or anything in any of the videos, but he's still like not necessarily missing the mark, but he's barely hitting the mark. Man, I feel like that's a scary sign of things to come.
Right.
And everything. Because this is do or die for Jalen Hurts. This is a do or die season. They got you one of the premier wide receivers whenever he's healthy. And then he's got a second year, I believe, wide receiver in Devontae Smith. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was Deontay Johnson over in, I think, the Steelers. Yeah. But yeah, so they got Smith and they got AJ Brown. So we'll see how that turns out. I'm not really confident in Jalen Hurts in taking the next step, but we'll see, especially since he has so many weapons now, right?
Right.
Well, with that being said, I just want to touch on that real quick. My friend Jose, do you have anything else for our lovely, lovely viewers?
Per usual, thank you guys for the support. Thank you for checking out. If you're watching or if you're listening on Spotify, podcast, or radio, check us out on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, check us out on the other ones.
Absolutely.
You know, if you don't want to see Steven's,
here, I'll show it off.
There you go. If you don't want to see Steven's arm hairs, go ahead and check them out on Spotify. It'll save you some
agony in watching.
But appreciate you guys. We're inching closer to episode 50, inching closer to fantasy football and NCAA and NFL football. So
man,
we're getting closer. So
it's gonna be busy.
Sauce, what you got?
Well, other than that, just anything that you guys want, first round buy related, firstroundbuy.com. It's got merch. It's got different ways to listen, different ways to watch and everything. Check us out on the social medias. We got a TikTok. We've got, we're on Facebook, all that good stuff. So, check us out, drop some love, share our content, please share it with anybody that loves football or even doesn't love football. Just share it. Either way, with that being said, we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.